my goodness. Hi, everyone. I was having a little trouble getting connected tonight, so I apologize for my lateness. Hopefully you're able to get on without issue. We'll wait a few minutes to give everybody time, and then we will jump right in. I have a beautiful card I can't wait to show you. A little different than what we normally do, so anxious for you to see it. Hopefully you're finding me there. I see me. Okay, good. I think we're connected everywhere. Nope, not quite. We'll get there. It's a cold, rainy night, that is for sure. Oh my gosh. We went out for dinner and we're running to the car, and I could not believe how cold the rain was. All right, there we go. I think where we need to be. All right. Hopefully you're getting notifications and finding me. Let's see. That's this. That's this. That's this. Oh yeah. Okay. That's for my stamping. All right. It says I'm live. I think I'm live. All right. Well, we are going to go ahead and jump in because it is almost 20 till. So today is Thursday, January 30th, 2025. And my name is Donna Schneidmiller, and I'm coming to you live from my Creative Cove here in Louisville, Kentucky. And I do go live on Tuesdays and Thursdays each week at 8:30 here on DonnaStamps.com's Facebook page. So quickly, I just want to remind you that we are halfway through Celebration, which is the biggest time of the Stampin' Up! Year, where you can earn free product just by placing a qualifying order of $60. Come Tuesday, no, I say Tuesday, I believe it is Wednesday, no, Tuesday the 4th, there is going to be a second release of products. So let me grab my book here. So if you have already selected your favorites for free out of this catalog, come Tuesday, you're going to have another selection of products that you're going to be able to select with your $60 qualifying order. So again, a great time to be able to get some freebies. On my last live yesterday evening, which was our bump up from Tuesday to Wednesday, I talked about the awesome starter kit special that we have. It is still an awesome deal. If you have questions about that, you can go back and watch the video, but ultimately it is $125 worth of product for $99 with free shipping. And you pay tax, but you have two options to where you can add on an additional $30 in product, which makes your value $155 for $99. Or you can select two of our marker families and get an awesome stamp set to go with it, which makes the value of your starter kit $216. So something to think about if you have a long list. We have a new catalog coming out in a couple of months, and as a demonstrator, you get to pre-order from those, see sneak peeks of all the new things. So there's a lot to be offered. So if you have any questions, reach out and I'll be happy to talk to you about that. As far as events that are coming up, we do have Club Cove for, I don't have it over here, for the month of February. Registration is open for that. It is the mixed florals. I'll be posting a couple of the samples, sneak peeks here in the next day or so, but you have until the 16th of February to take advantage of that. It is a fun kit. We're having a great time with it. And it is 8 cards, 2 each of 4 designs plus product. So your kit is $30 and you're going to be getting $22 to $25 worth of product in that kit. So not only we have everything you need to make those 8 cards, but you're also going to have extras left over. So if you're interested in that, let me know. You can do that for 1 month, or if you do it 6 months consecutively, then you're going to get a goodie bag of additional product worth $25 from me as a gift. Birthday card buffet is coming up on February the 8th. We have 2 sessions, one in the morning, one in the afternoon, and we have a variety of birthday cards for you. I think we're going to have 12 to 16 cards, and they're $3 each, and you make as few or as many as you want of each design. So you don't have to register for that, but we appreciate it if you do, because that way we know how many are coming on each session, and we make sure we have plenty of seats. And then the next and final birthday Stamp-A-Stack will be on the 4th Sunday in February. That is the 23rd. And that is 16 cards, 4 each of 4 designs for $25 are free with a $40 order. And one of the perks of being on my team is that's one of the classes that you can come to at a discount. So members of my team can come for $16. So you can't beat that, $1 a card. And everything is cut and ready for you. All you have to do is stamp it and put it together. So, and then of course, Creative Escape is my spring retreat. That is going to be on April the 19th, and I have recently secured a new place. I'm very excited about it. It is going to be at the Jefferson County Cooperative Extension Office in their convention center. And oh my gosh, our conference center. And oh my gosh, the space is incredible. It has rolling chairs and all kinds of things. But if you are looking for a fun day to get away, the Creative Escape is the perfect time to do that. You bring whatever you want to work on. It is $50. It'll run from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. It'll include lunch and dinner, plus giveaways, raffles, and a whole bunch of fun. So a portion of that is going to benefit the Arrow Fund, and during the event we are also going to have an all occasions card buffet if you'd like to participate, and you can make additional cards there during the event. So all of this information is up on DonnaStamps.com, my actual website, and if you'll scroll to the bottom, you will see all of the events there that you can register for. Okay, make sure that you are saying hello and letting me know you're here. Hey, Tracy. I was beginning to wonder if people were having trouble connecting like I did. So glad to see you here. Hopefully you can hear me okay. Thank you for joining me on this cold, wet night. But make sure you comment just like Tracy did and say hello and let me know you're here, and your name will go into a drawing for the project that I did on my last live. So yesterday we made this fun, and I don't know if I can hold it backwards, but we will try. This is called a double accordion gatefold card. So we made this yesterday. Super fun, super easy. And I have everyone's name in the hat that actually commented yesterday. And let's see who is going to get that. Okay. That is going to go to Sherry Willis. So Sherry, I have your information. I will get that out to you. And then, of course, if you share my video, which I greatly appreciate, type the word shared in all capital letters. And that way I know who you are that shared, and your name will go into another drawing for a stack of cards from my stash. So let's see who is going to get that. And that's going to go to Tracy Schomburg. So Tracy, I do have your information as well. So we'll get those ready to go out to you. And then, of course, I've been telling you about the host code and the new changes that are forthcoming. So if you have not yet gone out to my online store and set up an account, be sure that you do that soon so that you can too start earning your own Stampin' Rewards starting around April 15th. So anytime you place a qualifying order yourself, that is $20 or more, you're going to earn 10% of that can be banked and used on a future purchase. So a great way to start banking your dollars, but you need to have an online account in order to do that. I can still help you place your orders, etc., but you need that account so that we have a place for Stampin' Up! To deposit your rewards, okay? Till then, you can still use the host code that I'm going to show you here in just a minute. And when you do that, and it's $35 or more before shipping and tax. Hi, Linda. I always send out a little gift as a thank you. And it's this month, it's the Adhesive Back Pearl Trio. And you will get that absolutely free from me. So make sure that you keep track of all those things. Hi, Linda. Linda and Linda. So glad everybody's finally able to grab on. I had a terrible time getting connected, so I don't know if it is the weather or just what is affecting things, but I'm glad you guys are here. Okay, I'm going to put the camera down and we are going to jump in and I'm going to show you this gorgeous card that takes something that's kind of fun and whimsical and turns it into something different and more elegant, I think. So hold on one second. Let's make sure we're in camera. Make sure we're not crooked. I've got my camera, my phone in the holder a little bit better. So let's see if this is going to work for us. That is definitely better. Let's move that up just a tad. Okay. So we are going to be working, where did he go? With one of the bundles out of the current mini catalog called Terrific Toadstools. And this comes as a bundle, so you can get the stamp set, the coordinating punch, separately or at a bundle for 10% off. Now, I've already shown you some really cutesy cards with this and bright colors, but today we're going to make a thank you card, and I'm going to show you a different way of mixing it with some other products to turn it into something that is just as pretty and fun, but is more on a serious or classic side. Okay, so I'm going to lay those aside. And then, oh, and let me tell you where that is in the mini. It is on page 53. And you can just see how it uses all these bright colors. And in fact, if you purchase this bundle and add a little bit to it, you can also get the celebration paper that coordinates with that. And again, it's all those fun, bright colors. Let me find that for you right here. And you can see just how fun you can combine those. But we're going to use a different designer series paper and a different color scheme to kind of change up this whole bundle. So we are going to be using the Sweetness of Nature paper. And I think it's kind of a hidden gem. This is a paper that got carried over, but you're going to totally miss it if you look at the catalog on page 107. There is one piece of that paper. Well, there's 2, 3, but you can't really tell just how incredibly pretty this is. This is a paper that was carried over. And I absolutely love it. And I want you to see it. Gold is all the rage right now. And this paper has exactly that. So it is it is Pebbled Path, gold foil, and white. So just look at, how incredibly pretty this paper is. You've got all this gold foil along with lots of different patterns. So this entire side is your gold foils. I love this one. That's the newsprint that looks like it's had the gold foil sprinkled on it or splattered on it. You have another more solid gold. Another simple background that again has that white kind of thatch. This reminds me of a piece that was in the autumn leaves paper that we had a couple of mini catalogs ago that was so popular. And then it has this gorgeous Pebbled Path piece, again, that is script and has that gold. And then if you flip it over, you've got some really nice patterns as well. You've got Pebbled Path here, or excuse me, what is that? Copper clay. You've got some that match this coordinating stamp set that is still in the catalog, but you could easily cut these up into card fronts. Another piece of script. This actually, I don't know if you can tell. Let me show this one to you. It actually has script and words both in the Pebbled Path and in the copper clay. And then it has the Pebbled Path sprinkled, not in gold foil, but still a pretty pattern. You have this one, which I love. This one. And again, you could easily color these with your blends. And then you have this. So it's a gorgeous, gorgeous paper pack. So if you have not seen this and you're like me and you love the gold foils, this is one that you can do an awful lot with. And I'm going to show you tonight how we can combine this paper with the toadstool and make a really pretty thank you card. So we are going to start with, let me get all my pieces here, a piece of wild wheat. This happens to be 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. You need a piece of basic white. You actually need two that are 4 by 5 1/4. And on one of them, I have already embossed it with the exposed brick, one of my absolutely favorite folders. And it just adds a very nice texture on the back. You're going to need... what's next? You need to take that paper, and I actually used the die set. Let me find it for you. It's Seasons of Greetings. This was an online exclusive. It is still available. And if you have not seen this die set, I think this is one that is a perfect staple for all your different labels of different sizes. And the cool thing is that it has holes in each one that make some really, really nice tags. So I used this one. And I actually cut out one of those patterns. And I don't know if you can see, it has stitching all the way around it. Each one of them does, which just adds some extra elegance. Okay. Then I also did one in gold foil, which I just think is gorgeous. I cut another piece of that coordinating paper. This is 4 by 1/2 inch. I did a small white nested essentials tag. Again, I chose this to match that stitching that is around the tags. And that's going to be for our sentiment. And then you need a little strip, just a scrap of your wild wheat to do some punching. And then you need another piece of white in order to do, again, your stamping and some punching. Okay? So this card is actually super easy, but when you see it all together, I think you're going to love it. Now, I am just going to go ahead, get my pieces where I want them, fold my card. I know you probably expected me to do another fun fold today, but this card was inspired by my demonstrator friend up in Ohio, Sherry Parker. And I have had this paper on my shelf for a while, and I haven't used it. And when I saw this card, or something similar to this card, I fell in love with it and said, okay, I'm getting that paper out, and I will save the project I was going to do tonight and do this instead because I am loving it. So I am just going to put this little strip right down here at the bottom. And I always like to cut my strip a little bit longer just in case I mismeasured. And then that way I have space and I don't have, it's better to have too much than not enough, right? So this is just going to go on the inside. Now this is a thank you card. And I'm going to be writing a note in here, so I'm not going to stamp a sentiment at all. I'm just going to put this on the inside, just like this. Okay, so that is that. And again, once I put that layer in, I don't know why, but I like to burnish one more time, just so that my card lays a little flatter. I'm going to take our piece of basic white that's been embossed, and this is going to go right onto the front of our card to give us some background texture. And I think when you see it with the rest of the card, you can kind of tell how it just adds. Okay. All right, so I'm going to lay that right there. And then I'm going to put it aside along with our tags. And I'm going to pull in my 2 pieces that I need in order to do some stamping. Now, I love this stamp set. It's very fun. It's a lot of fun. And I love punches. They make life so much easier. But sometimes we wonder, how do we get things lined up so we don't waste paper, but also so we can get our placement correct for going in and stamping. So I'm going to show you, because I am doing everything in Wild Wheat, how I would pull that off. So I'm just going to lay my punch down for a second. And what I do typically is I take just a scrap of basic white or whatever color I have at hand, and I punch out one of just kind of like a negative, so that I know exactly where the images are on my punch. And then what I do is I lay my stamps within the openings. So I've already done that. And then when I put my block on top, you can see that my images are right where they're supposed to be, and they're lined up on my block perfectly. Now, you can always, cut strips of paper that are not this big so that you don't have the waste. But this is a great way to be able to get them lined up if you're going to do multiples of the same color and you want to pull those in. So I just keep that in my stamp case, and it just makes things a lot easier for me. Okay, so I'm going to use Wild Wheat. I think Wild Wheat matches beautifully with this gold. We'll ink up our little toadstools here. And then I'm going to go ahead and stamp. Okay, so there are those. I'm going to bring my little tag in, and from the stamp set, there is a little image right up here at the top that says just a little thank you, and that's the stamp I'm going to use. And again, this is a very quick and easy card, but it has a lot of punch. Now, what I want to do is I want to put that in the middle. This is, like I said, the second smallest nested essential. So I'm just going to stamp that just like that there in the middle. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and close up my ink pad so I don't wear it. Pick that up, put that over there. Okay, and then when I open up my punch and go to put this in, you can see that it lines up perfectly for me. So all I have to do is punch. Now, unlike, I got to turn it so I can see it. Unlike some of our other punches that leave a white border around them, this one does not. There we go. Oh, there we go. Okay. And then when I punch, I get those images, okay? Now, while I have my punch out, I'm going to bring in that little strip. And like I said, this is kind of a way that you can utilize your scraps. And I can just put it right in here, and I'm going to punch out 2 of the stems. So you can see I have very little waste, that's it, by using a strip instead. So it's a great way to be able to get things that you need for any of your punches. Okay, so we've got this like this, okay? We have our little stems. And in this case, the stems are going to go on top, right? Just like this. And they're going to adhere kind of in the center of that. Now, they're going to go on here. So we want to kind of look at, are the stems too long? And what I want to do before I put them together is I'm just going to kind of lay it here and see how I want to position it. So am I okay with it hanging over like that? And I think I am. And we'll put this one over here. And we can tuck him under there. And that looks pretty good. Okay. So what I'm going to do next is grab my glue dots, which have disappeared. Oh, here they are. It's like they were just here. And I'm going to use my little pokey tool. And I'm just going to kind of roll that up a little bit. And I'm going to add it right here. Now you could use some liquid, some liquid glue if you like. I don't want to make a mess tonight. And we all know that the liquid glue is not always my friend. So we're just going to use a glue dot. You could have cut that in half and only used part of it. Okay, so we've got him. And then we're going to do the same thing on this side. And again, hi, Linda Crawford. I got Tracy Conrad. I can see Linda McFarland. I got all kinds of people on tonight, and I'm so thankful. I had a hard time getting on, so I was worried that you all would too. Okay, and then I'm going to put this one this way, just so that we can put them on our banner accordingly. Okay, we're going to flip them over. I'm going to grab some dimensionals. I'm going to put 2 on this one just because it's a little bigger and I don't want it to wobble. We'll add 1. We will grab some much loved minis. I'll put him down here on my stem. This one on my stem. Oops. And these fit perfectly if you put them on there in the right direction. Okay, so we have that done. I'm going to bring in my labels. And what I'm going to do is I am going to put this gold one. Let me see what I want to do. I'm going to do it like this. Yeah, that's what I want. Okay, right? Yeah. Okay, so I want these to line up because they have a hole there, but I'm only going to have one hole. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this over. I'm going to add a little bit of adhesive so that I can line these up just like this and attach them. Okay. Now we have 2 new ribbons, for lack of a better word, within the online exclusives, and they are both gorgeous. This one is the white woven ribbon. It's a 1/2 inch wide. I don't know if you can see it, but it's not sheer, but it is sheer. It's very soft and easy. So what I'm going to do is just cut a piece, I don't know, about 3.5 inches. And I'm going to slip it through here, through the hole, if my fingers will cooperate. There we go. Come on. Goodness gracious. Maybe we'll try our scissors. Sometimes that works better. I don't know why, but all day today, my hands have been cold. Nothing else is cold, just my hands. And I haven't been able, there we go, to hold on to anything. Let's try one more time. Go on. Don't pull your scissors out yet. There we go. Okay. All right. So we're going to pull this ribbon up just like this. Okay. And then I'm going to take some of this new gold twisted thread. It's like a linen thread. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it on camera. It's thicker than linen thread. It kind of holds its shape, but can you see that at all? Just how pretty. And it, like I said, it's twisted, but it has a sparkle to it, and it is just gorgeous. So all I'm going to do is, and you can do this a couple of ways. You've seen me do this in the past. Let me pull that down a little bit. I'm just going to take a paper clip to hold those together. And then I'm not going to take it off of the spool. I'm just going to leave it right here and use just as much as I need. And I'm just going to pull that tight. And then I'm going to knot it. Now that I've got the first bow pulled, I can go ahead and pull these slightly. There we go. That's what I wanted. And get that down closer to the tags. And then I'm just going to do a overhand knot. Just like that. And I want to leave these tails a little bit longer. Now, they also fray just a bit when you work with them, which I think just adds to it. And you can always hold on to it and just spin it like that, and it will fray out that ribbon a little bit. Okay, so there we go with that. Now, this is going to go flat. Oh, I need to trim my ends. And if you do not have a dedicated pair of ribbon scissors, you need to make sure that you get one, because when you cut ribbon with a pair of scissors that has been exposed to adhesive and different things, even cutting the paper, they are dull and they actually will really mess with your ribbon and cause it to fray. Okay, so now we're going to add some adhesive to our tags. I think I'm getting ready to run out of adhesive, but we're almost done. Okay, there we go. So I want the bow at the top. So I'm just going to put this like this. Make sure my piece of twine is out. Come on. Oh my gosh, my hands do not want to work. Okay, there we go. Got our card. We got everything stuck down well. Okay, now I'm going to take my little label, and I want my label to hang over slightly, but I'm going to kind of mirror that little corner right like that. Okay. And I'm going to add him flat so that the only dimension that I have is going to be the toadstools themselves. So I'm going to put him right here. You think you will? I think you will. It's pretty. Wait till you see its counterpart. It's just as pretty. So I'm going to take those dimensionals off, and I'm just going to add this little toadstool right here. And I think that I need to add a little bit of adhesive right there. Yep. To hold that down. Then we're going to do the other one. And I could add some Wink of Stella to this, but I'm not going to. You definitely could if you like. I kind of want the paper to do all the work with the sparkle and shine. So we're going to put this one, and I'm going to bring this one up just a tad. Okay, and put him down just like that. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. Much cuter than I imagined it was going to be. Okay, and then I'm going to use some of these iridescent foil gems. They are clear with the gold foil in them. And I'm just going to add, oh, I do have some little ones. Let's see, I'm going to put a big one up here. And we will put a couple of small ones. Let's put one here. And let's put the other one right here. Perfect. All right. And there you go. Can you see how pretty that shimmer is? Oh my gosh, I love the gold foil. Just pull, and then you've got the sparkle within the gems. So it is super, super pretty, okay? Now, I took the same premise of this layout, okay? And instead of creating tags, I used a different pattern from the Designer Series paper and went with the Pebbled Path and created this one. So you can see how I only did one in this case, one little toadstool, because I did it over to the side instead of in the center, okay? And then I took, and instead of doing a cardstock, or there is the stems here within the stamp set. In this case, I pulled the gold foil out and created my stem. I even trimmed it off a little bit because I wanted it to be shorter. As you can see here, it's a little shorter. And then I tied a bow here, and yet you can still show off that Designer Series paper, but look at all that gold. It's like, oh, they're so pretty. So, and then of course on the inside, they're basically the same. I just pulled the coordinating DSP out to put at the bottom since they're thank you cards. So you have to tell me which you like best. Okay, I'm so excited about this. And when I saw this design, I'm like, yes, I am using my paper to do this. So I hope you like that. All right. So that's our card for tonight. I hope you enjoyed these. I hope you give that paper a chance. Like I said, it's very much kind of lost and hidden in the catalog, but you can see all of the designs up on my online store. And again, it's called Sweetness of Nature. And it is considered a specialty paper, I believe. Let me double check that for you. Yes, because of the gold foil, it's a specialty. So it's $16.50 for the pack, but the papers are absolutely gorgeous. And you can use, of course, the other sides for masculine cards. So Let me know if you have any questions about the starter kit special or any of the upcoming events. If you have questions about the cards, let me know. And of course, I will have pictures and measurements and everything up on the Creative Cove shortly after the end of this video. So everyone have a great rest of your evening. Stay dry in all this crazy rain we're going to get for the next day or so. And I will see you all back on Tuesday at 8:30. Thanks so much, everyone. I so appreciate you. Bye-bye.